Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Come out to the ballpark as the Ferry Hawks welcome in the Charleston Dirty Birds May 5th through the 10th. Grab the kids and come on out. We kick it off on Tuesday, May 5th with Cinco de Baseball with $5 tickets and $5 food and beverage specials. And we end the week as we celebrate all moms on Mother's Day. Moms get in free. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats. The Larry Kudlow Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back, folks. I'm Larry Kudlow. Hour 3. We're going to do some stock market work and some money politics later on. By the way, you can live stream us over the internet, LarryKudlowShow.com, LarryKudlowShow.com. You can hear us all across the country, around the world, throughout the solar system, including the Milky Way. And please join us on fabulous Fox Business Network, Monday through Friday. The name of the show is Kudlow, 4 to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. If you can't make it at 4, well, just text your favorite 9-year-old, and she will show you how to DVR the show. You'll never miss a thing. We just finished April. Best month in 5 years for the stock market. This past April, despite all the things going on in the world and all the critics, nonetheless, people are making good money. Stock markets are booming. Profits are booming. Let's talk about it. We got Nancy Tengler, CEO and Chief Investment Officer of Laffer Tengler Investments. Her latest book is The Women's Guide to Successful Investing. And Jon Najarian, co-founder of Market Rebellion. Terrific stuff. When I see Jon Najarian, I immediately go and look at the VIX index, which is only 17. That thing was 35 or 40 a month or two ago. 17. John, you taught me that's very good. Lower is good. And lower is boosting stock prices. Let's see. We're at the Dow's just short of a record. All right. It'll get back to 50,000 soon. S&P is at record high, 72.30. NASDAQ record, 25,114. Terrific week across the board. Everything's up about 1 percentage point. John, low VIX, come back down. What's it mean?
Well, it's very positive for the markets, and I'm sure it's not lost on your listeners, certainly not on Nancy or Larry, that the VIX being this low as we are still in this conflict with Iran, even though the president said, I guess, yesterday it ended, so he can start his new clock up for another 60 days, Larry.
Yep.
But the S&P gross margins are at record levels. That's right. You heard that right, folks. Over the last 4 months, we have seen record new highs for gross margins. And what is that? What's behind it? Some of it is clearly AI, Larry, that companies are making do with less as far as expenses. Some of that's great, and some of it's short-term not so great. I mean, an airline just went out of business this weekend, Spirit, unfortunately. The Biden administration wouldn't let them merge with JetBlue. They said the competition would go away. Well, now it's really gone away. So that was a brilliant move. But I think what we're looking at is companies in the S&P 500 posting up just wonderful earnings. And anybody that wants to fade that, even though we do appear to be fairly overbought, I still can't bring myself to sell, Larry. I really can't, not with these gross margins just increasing all the time.
Profits are the mother's milk of stocks and the lifeblood of the economy. Honestly, it's just, you're seeing it once again. There are a lot of things going on in the world. We don't like high oil prices. We don't like high gasoline prices. But you got to keep your eye on the ball. Profits drive this. Nancy Tengler was on the show this week. I mean, what's not to like? I mean, you have to keep your eye on that profits number. It's funny. It's hard to because hardly anybody writes it up. Some good analysts do. Some good economists do. Not many. But it's a whole different model of the economy. We were talking about it earlier in this program. If you're looking at profits, then that's a different way of assessing the economy than if you're looking at consumer spending. I'm arguing consumers are the end point. Profits are the starting point. Show me a profitable business, then I'll show you hiring, wages, productivity, income, then comes consumer spending. Other people look at it the other way around. I think we're in pretty good shape here because of these earnings.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and I think John is right. It's hard to be a seller in this environment, and yet, we still hear a lot of negative commentary, a lot of skepticism around the AI trade, and all of that is good to sustain the rally. We didn't have a lot of skepticism in the late 1990s, so I'm about as happy, as an investor. This is just one of those times when you can really be picky and you can enjoy the benefit of your work. We sit on all the earnings calls, Larry, so we hear, the cross section of the economy, and companies are raising guidance all around the corporate sector. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind. And then secondarily, productivity, which we've been, you and I called the bottom about a month ago in the market. And we keep hearing that, people now are starting to jump on the productivity bandwagon. I know you've been talking about it for years. I've been talking about it for 4 years, that would be the ace in the hole that would allow us to grow the economy and in a disinflationary manner. So, again, I think, you sit back and you watch the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is contributing to consumer pocketbooks and to corporate balance sheets. But you are right. It's all about earnings, and earnings growth this quarter has not necessarily been reflected in some of the stock prices after the reports, but certainly will be as we move forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's not one of the recession recovery indicators published by the National Bureau of Economic Research, NBER, but it ought to be, because profits. You could go back and look at the drop in profits in late 2007. Now, you don't get the reports fully. That's the only trouble with the GDP profits. You don't get the reports you have to wait a month or two or even 3. That's not the worst thing in the world, but that's the way it is. You do get the up-to-date stuff, or closer up-to-date, from these earnings calls, as they're called, and so forth, and people try to glean what they can glean. But really, it ought to be a leading indicator. I mean, only because it doesn't get published quite so rapidly. That's the only flaw. But you're on your own. I mean, you get these S&P earnings calls and so forth. People should pay attention to them. It's more important. I mean, gasoline prices, I don't like it either. What is it, $4.35, $4.40? This will prove to be temporary, but I know there's a lot of complaining about that. But it doesn't.
But in 2008, inflation adjusted, it was $6.17, $6.20 a gallon. So, and even if you go back to 2022, it was like $5.60 on average. So we're much more efficient using and producing energy, about 1.5% of the consumer pocketbook. I mean, John's got a lot of insight on commodities, so I don't want to spend my air on that. I'm not an expert, but I do know that, real wages have risen, and energy prices have an impact, but they don't have the kind of impact they've had historically.
Well, we produce a lot of energy. We got bigger production. It's actually good for some parts of the economy and the people that work. I mean, right, John? What does the commodity story look like?
Well, Nancy's exactly right. The obviously American energy independence, even though we do import some from Canada, we do import California, unfortunately, because of their leadership, imports more than they should, because they could just satisfy their needs with their offshore oil. But until President Trump did what he did, they weren't doing that. And they've driven a lot of energy producers out of their state, like Chevron and so forth. But I keep going back to the raid in Venezuela. Now Venezuela is back up to 1.23 million barrels a day. That's a 7-year high for them. And it's, I got to believe, only going higher from here, Larry. We're going to see commodities like natural gas and crude oil come back down as we come to some sort of resolution. Hopefully it's around a negotiating table, but if it isn't, we know it'll be on the battlefield. And the IRGC, in other words, the military in Iran, is going to rue the day that they didn't take a reasonable deal. Supposedly they're offering, again now, both nuclear and the Strait of Hormuz to get the president's people back to the negotiating table. But it's going to have to be a fairly one-sided negotiation because he holds all the cards. They don't have any. And, the longer they wait, the more likely it is it's a military solution, unfortunately. But, when I look at what the president has done, not just with commodities like crude oil and nat gas, but with, for instance, investments in really important things like Intel. I mean, the president invested almost $9 billion in Intel at $20.47 a share. And he has the right or a warrant for another 5%. The amount that has gone up since we made that investment is in the hundreds of percent. So unrealized gains are over $30 billion right now. It's a critical infrastructure.
Where's Intel trading?
Just in the after hours, it's over $100 a share. Again, he invested at $20.47.
I don't want to encourage him.
Well, I tell you what, he might even be a better investor than Pelosi.
Touche, John. Well said.
But he's not doing it for his account. He's doing it for the taxpayers' government account. But
exactly. And so I can't help but be bullish. Do I think we'll see some pullbacks? I bet Nancy and I both think we'll see some. I don't know when, and I don't know what the catalyst will be, but I do think that if you're holding, it's been a very good year. And as Warren Buffett said, if every time the market goes down you sell, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
And what's interesting? The One Big Beautiful Bill Act also is generating, because of the market returns that are somewhat a result of that, of course, the capital gains tax payments are over $200 billion higher than they were last year. So they're kind of offsetting the refunds that consumers are getting. It's a master scheme. I don't know if it was intentional, but to John's point, Venezuela, then that's all very positive.
How about the UAE?
How about them leaving OPEC? And that gives the United States and the UAE, the lead in energy production for the world right now. They're
going to produce 5 million barrels a day. They're at 2+. They can get to 5. They've been talking about 5. That's why they were chafing. I mean, there's bad blood with Saudi Arabia anyway. But putting that aside, why should they be limited? They can produce more. Abu Dhabi can make up for lost revenues, make up for lost time. It's a big deal. Others may follow suit. Others may follow out of OPEC. I think OPEC's really very bad. Maybe it'll just be Russia and the Saudis. Even the Saudis will figure out that they can't mess. Let me take a break. We got two very smart people here: Nancy Tengler, Laffer Tengler Investments, Jon Najarian, and Market Rebellion.
Let Century Management Solutions get you to your next medical appointment. They specialize in non-emergency medical transportation, connecting patients to care, safety, reliability, and on time. Their advanced technology platform seamlessly coordinates patients, healthcare providers, insurers, and transportation partners all in one powerful network. With over 200 trusted transportation providers, they deliver scalable solutions backed by real-time tracking and complete transparency. Go to SENTRYMS.com.
So good, so good, so good.
Spring styles are at Nordstrom Rack stores now, and they're up to 60% off. Stock up and save on Rag & Bone, Madewell, Vince, All Saints, and more of your favorites.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
Why do we rack? For the hottest deals. Just so many good brands.
Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
Kayak gets my flight, hotel, and rental car right. So I can tune out travel advice that's just plain wrong.
Bro, Skycoin. Way better than points.
Never fly during a Scorpio full moon.
Just tell the manager you'll sue. Instant room upgrade.
Stop taking bad travel advice. Start comparing hundreds of sites with Kayak and get your trip right. Kayak. Got that right.
Hey, I just Venmo'd you for rent.
Nice. Now I can instantly spend it whether I'm checking out online with Venmo or using a Venmo debit card.
Say more.
More exactly. Because the more you do with Venmo, the more you get. Like earning up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash on a bundle of brands.
So, order more pizza.
The math demands it.
Get the Venmo debit card.
Venmo Stash bundle terms and exclusions apply. See terms at venmo.me/stash terms. Venmo checkout not available at all merchants. Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A.
Nancy, it's not all AI. I mean, it's even the manufacturing numbers, the business CapEx numbers. It's not all AI. There's stuff going on in agriculture. There's stuff going on in industry. Actually, if you look at industrial stocks, are up 11.5% year to date. It's in healthcare, medical care. It's just, I'm just making the point. It's not all power data centers and AI.
No, you're right. You're right. This is where diversification comes in, but you want to own the winners in each industry, obviously. And so, we're looking for the companies that are benefiting from utilizing AI by improving margins, improving product development, customer service. That's been our theme for 3 years. I think, you want to be overweight industrials for sure. I thought the PMI numbers were great. The employment numbers keep coming down in the manufacturing PMI, but we're producing more. And so that's productivity as well. And then the new orders were up dramatically. So I think the economy is humming along very nicely. You saw Atlanta Fed around 3.5. We'll see for GDP. But I think we're in good shape. And, that's in spite of a geopolitical exogenous event. And I think John's 100% right. And we talked about this the last time I was on with you. The president understands what's at stake, and he's not going to chicken out, if you will. He will get a resolution. This is not the taco trade that Wall Street likes to refer to him. So I'm excited about the opportunities.
Absolutely. And where you're both exactly right is industrials. Some of them do pitch in and help out with things like AI. But as my brother has said, Larry, when you look at Caterpillar, the stock has damn near tripled in the past year. Tripled. Caterpillar, right. CAT. Why? Not just infrastructure. It's because the data centers need things that are going to be built by people on bulldozers and land movers and all the rest of that. Then you've got GEV, which is like energy transmission. It's General Electric Vernova, and that one is up 45% or more this year. I mean, these are industrial companies. Again, GE Aerospace, the sad news about Spirit, I'm not happy about that, but GE Aerospace has just been killing it. And when you look at how well they're doing, and again, no one's going to really tell us that it's an AI play, but I'm sure that, to Nancy's point, they're using AI to make themselves more efficient. And more efficient means more profits, and more profits mean the stock goes up.
I saw AI is going to put young lawyers out of work. Like, you don't have to train them the first 3 years because you can use AI instead. Is that true? Fewer lawyers? That has to be the most bullish thing I've heard in ages.
I think the other side of that argument is because AI is going to do all the grunt work, there's going to be more lawsuits. I said in a presentation. Yeah, so who knows? But I'm with you. I think we'd be somewhat better off. So, by the way, my pick of the week is Kevin Warsh.
Yeah, Kevin Warsh. And your non-pick of the week is Jerome Powell, but we're going to take his parking spot away, so we won't be long for this trip. Anyway, Nancy Tengler, thanks. Jon Najarian, thanks.
The Larry Kudlow Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.